Hello and welcome to TFA Analysis. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.
Many people, including newspapers in Cameroon, were asking this particular question, whether Emmanuel Macron's visit to Cameroon will end the Anglophone crisis. Because many of them believed that a President Paul Biya looked up to France for any instruction. And they were thinking that when President Macron comes to Cameroon, he will give instruction to Paul Biya to end the Anglophone crisis. And yet, Emmanuel Macron came. He talked about the Anglophone crisis. And he gave some serious instruction, way out, or way to end the Anglophone crisis. I am here today to talk about those things he said when they have a press conference in Yaoundé.
Loud about that. I'd like to say that France supports the decentralization process. I believe, and I said that much the first time, that regionalization is an answer to the serious crisis in Cameroon in the northwest and southwest. This political process, dialogue, reforms, advances, conciliation, and so on, this is how we can find a sustainable solution. And we want to
talk about that Macron calls for further dialogue, political consultation, regionalisation to end the Anglophone crisis. If you look into this thing critically, you discover that these are things that people have been talking about. When people were crying and asking for a national dialogue in order to end the Anglophone crisis, in 2019, President Paul Biya organized a search in Yaoundé, and we refused. Many people came out and denied it, that it was not a dialogue to end the Anglophone crisis, but it was a meeting of the elite, the government officials and politicians. Those he trusted, that he invited them for a dinner in which they spent 10 billion francs CFA for that party. And then shortly after that, he carried the report, not to Cameroonians, in which he is answerable to, but he carried the report to France and presented it to Emmanuel Macron in 2019. And Emmanuel Macron looked through it and came to Cameroon 2022 and said that was not a dialogue that could end the Anglophone crisis. And he asked President Paul Biya to organize a genuine and sincere dialogue that will end the Anglophone crisis. And this is exactly what many people have been talking about. But now that is coming from the slave master, from his master, we believe he will do something. Because maybe he was believing that Emmanuel Macron will come and congratulate him for that dialogue. But he said he needs to organize another dialogue. Maybe that will end the Anglophone crisis, which will be genuine. Meaning if he is asking for another dialogue, meaning the first one was not genuine and sincere. And we say that is a way forward. He also talked about political consultation to end the Anglophone crisis. And political consultation here is asking for advice from other people concerning your issue. I believe Paul Biya is not ignorant about what is happening in Cameroon. It is a political issue. It is a constitutional issue. The Anglophone crisis. President Paul Biya in France, in Paris, opened his mouth and said that since he became president, that they have been struggling by all possible means to assimilate the people of Southern Cameroon. And from that period, we were expecting the United Nations, the United States of America, France, to ask President Paul Biya why struggling to marginalize a group of people in the 21st century. Nobody has said something about it. And President Paul Biya is not ignorant about it, so he does not need to ask people advice on how to go about politics in Cameroon. He knows how he is playing his game, and one of it is an increase in the rate of illiteracy in Cameroon, so that many Cameroonians can become frustrated And he will use these frustrated people to remain in power. We can testify this on how the way they welcome Emmanuel Macron in Cameroon. The things France is doing to Cameroon and France has done to Cameroon, he does not deserve search. So Paul Biya do not need any political consultation, because he knows what he is doing to the people of Southern Cameroon. He knows what he is doing to the people of Cameroon. Because we have a lot of problems in Cameroon. A lot of problems. All the problems in Cameroon is linked to politics. Because the government of President Paul Biya hijacked everything. The National Assembly, they are not independent according to the Constitution of Cameroon, that is supposed to be independent from the executive. The judiciary, they are not independent from the executive. The government of Cameroon controls everything. That is the government of President Paul Biya. He appoints judges, military officials. He appoints nearly everybody. He is the one in control of everybody. The president of the National Assembly, the lowest and the lower and the upper house of a National Assembly, he is in charge of them. He decides who should be there. So he is controlling nearly every part of Cameroon. And where are we now talking about political consultation? He knows what he is doing. He knows the politics he is playing. And he knows how he is playing his game in order to remain in power. So President Paul Biya does not need any political consultation in order to end the problems in Cameroon, in order to end the Anglophone crisis. We all know that the Anglophone crisis is a constitutional problem. Anglophone crisis came because of the abolition of the federal system of government. And President Paul Biya is aware of that. But since their objective have been to assimilate these people, the only advice President Paul Biya needs is that what? That he cannot assimilate the Anglophone population. He cannot. So he should withdraw that and change his mentality. That these people are more intelligent to a point that he cannot assimilate them. He cannot make them to become second-class citizens. Doing all those things, marginalizing them, is just increasing the problem in Cameroon. He talked about another issue again, that will be an answer to the crisis and will end the crisis. And he talked about what? Regionalization. And regionalization is the transfer of power to regions. And that President Paul Biya can never do it, except now that is coming from the slave leaders, the slave master. Now that is coming from Emmanuel Macron, his father. Maybe he will take it into consideration. Because when Cameroonians asked for regionalization, he gave them. He said he has transferred power to the regions, to the people, that they have to elect their mayor, they have to elect their councils, their councillor, they have to elect whosoever will govern them. But turn behind and appoint who and create what they call a government delegate. And government delegate now have power over all the mayors, all the councils in all the regions. And government delegate, they are answerable directly to the president. They control all the councils. And then they gather them and control the finance and control everything. Give them. You come and ask for money from the government delegate. And the government delegate will take the report to President Paul Biya. So there is no regionalization in Cameroon. The Cameroonians asked for to elect their governor. He has not done that. He is still the one appointing governor. And governor is having power more than any other person in the region. And they are answerable to President Paul Biya. So if President Paul Biya will take into consideration what Emmanuel Macron said, then he will dissolve the post of governors in all the regions. And the people will be the one to be electing their own governor, as it is in Nigeria. Those people, the governors, will be answerable to the people, not to the president. If he would take into consideration regionalization as instructed by Emmanuel Macron, his slave master, then the people there will be no government delegates. And the people of Each region will manage their resources, will create their income, and create their revenues, sources of their revenues, and manage it according to their needs. And this will help to reduce some kind of problems we are having. The people will organize their own military. They will organize their own concours. They will manage their own educational system. They will manage their own health system. They will have their own police. Boy created their own people who know the terrains. They will have their own court, speaking their language and their dialect, the language that the people can understand. If this regionalization is taken into consideration, the real meaning of it, not just on pieces of paper, as they are doing with decentralization, then there will be a change in Cameroon for everybody. Because I keep on saying, all Cameroonians are suffering. Those southern Cameroonians are suffering triple, but all Cameroonians are suffering. Let President Paul Biya, we pray that he should take into consideration all this that the slave master said to him. Call for a genuine dialogue to end the Anglophone crisis, where everybody will be involved. Nobody will be excluded. Where all topics can be discussed, even separation will be put down, and people will debate over it. And if the government of Cameroon will win, that they should have one and indivisible Cameroon, they should have it. If the Anglophones will win, that they want to separate and be their way, they should come to a conclusion. If they want a federal system of government, as it was in 1961, let it be. That is what they call dialogue. Not a dialogue where you are the one coming to dialogue with somebody and you are bringing a topic and telling the person that this thing should not. What is disturbing me, I should not say it. Then is that a dialogue? They're talking about a genuine and sincere dialogue. And this is what, these are the things Emmanuel Macron told President Paul Biya while he was in Yaoundé. And we pray that he should take them into consideration. Now that is coming from the slave master, from the person he obeys and respects, from the person he is very loyal to. I believe he will take it